Women's Championship ready to go, as this is our first t-shirt game. Winners of this game will win t-shirts and be crowned the best women's team on South Alabama's campus. Kappa Delta looking for their fourth straight women's championship. They've won three of the last four since we came back from COVID. As the first pitch comes in and a swing to right field falls short, and a safe, easy hit. The ball's popped up and into foul territory. So 2-2 count now. Some of these women on pitch slap already have championships. Some were on that flag football team that won. Some were on the basketball team that won. As that's a pitch that gets into right field and gets past the fielder. And KD is making rounds around the bases, and they're going to have the first run of the game, as that's going to turn in. They should have been a single, turns into a triple, and that turns into another run, actually, as the ball kind of had some miscommunication in right field, and the pitcher didn't have it, and a great aggressive move by the KD base runner, and they start this game like they started the sorority championship, 2-0. That pitch comes in and falls to the center fielder. That's out number one. Behind the plate, Elijah Suarez reffing his first intramural championship game. Michael Archie, our first base umpire, and Davion Baker looking angry at third base. As that ball gets slapped right to him. And again, another ball that is going to go all the way back to the fence. And you can see pitch slap playing down a couple of players. You can see how that's affecting their defense. Any ball hit to the grass is getting past the defenders. And now KD has a runner on third, looking to extend their lead. That ball's inside. As that ball is slapped up the middle and down, and another run's gonna score. 3-0. Kappa Delta scored 5 runs in their first game today, playing a doubleheader sorority and women's championship. And so far, they've started this women's championship red hot. See how pitch slap can respond to it, as that ball is short. So 2 balls short, as a good kick save and a beauty by Nashana behind the camera. Great feat. It's a 3-1 count here. As that ball comes in short again. So 3 balls short, and now runners on first and second. Like I was describing, some of these pitch slap women have already won t-shirts, some for flag football, some for women's basketball. So they've got a pedigree of knowing how to win these title games. India Lee on the mound, she's appeared in 4 championship games, won 2 in flag football, lost a tragic one in overtime in basketball, and is looking to win a softball one to try to even out that record. That ball's outside, having a little trouble now finding the strike zone. As the ball is slapped, and again, a big hole where the third baseman should be. and all the runners will move up. And now the bases are loaded. Pitch slap playing a very interesting defense in that they only have a third baseman on the left side of the infield, and that's leaving a big hole. So that third baseman's going to have to make some judgments and decisions. Do they want to kind of guard next to the third base side of that side of the infield? Do they want to cheat more towards second base like a shortstop? But that's a lot of field to be having to field by themselves, as that's going to be a strikeout. After a strikeout look, after a strike looking, and then a swinging bunt pitch slap type of swing. 2 out. As they swing high on that first pitch. A good chance for Kappa Delta to blow this game open early. They can get some more runs across here. Pitch slap needs to get out of this inning, limit the damage. As that ball goes outside, misses the plate, 2-2 count. That ball is low, but it's swing and a strike 3. Oh, that ball got fouled. Foul tipped. Barely could hear it, but the ball just barely hit the bat. And that ball's an inside pitch. A great job by that hitter to get something on that low pitch to stay alive. And now works her way to a full count. As that ball gets hit right back to the pitcher. Easy play at first, and they get out of the inning. Bases loaded. Kappa Delta, good start to this women's championship. They lead 3-0, but pitch slap coming up to hit. Bottom of the first inning, pitch slap starts their at bat in a hole, but this is a good team in terms of the ability to bat. They put up high numbers in terms of runs scored throughout the regular season. Only played 3 games. They played 3 regular season games and advanced to the women's championship. Only women's team we had, and the other teams were sororities, so got a kind of a bye all the way to the championship. But you gotta wonder how rust will affect them. As this ball comes in as a strike, and now that evens up the count, 2-2. Two pitch comes in, and it'll be a swinging strike 3. As that'll be the first out of the inning, as India Lee will step in to bat. India, a pretty consistent hitter and pitcher, good athlete, works on our staff at South Sports. I think the big thing for pitch slap is, can they try not to get it all back with one swing? It's going to take some time. Got to be patient, pick their spots, and make good contact with the ball. As that's good contact, and that ball's going to be caught by the left fielder. Very clever play. As that'll be 2 outs, and Jade Perkins steps into the batter's box, one of our supervisors on staff. Jade only started playing softball a couple of years ago, but has quickly picked it up and is a solid hitter as she hits a ball to the shortstop. And a great play and a 1-2-3 inning by KD on defense. They're off to a great start in the women's championship, 3-0. Top of the second inning, as Katie steps in. First pitch comes in, and it's going to be short. As we are wrapping up intramurals for the 24-25 school year, as that's a nice play by the third baseman, takes her time, makes a solid throw to first base to record the first out of the inning. So yeah, it's been a long journey from all the way from August to now. It is April, and we'll finish this Thursday with our South Sports Award Cookout, where we'll celebrate all of our championship teams, our great staff, team awards, player awards, and we'll see who gets into the Intramural Hall of Fame. So 8 p.m. at the SJ Pavilion or Student Rec Center in case power is not working, which it hasn't been working lately, or weather, but it's been great weather, and it's going to be forecasted to be good weather as that first pitch comes in high to Cadence, and it's a 2-1 count. Great battle here between Cadence and India. They've actually been on staff together for a whole year, and so it'll be interesting to see who wins this one as that ball just falls short again. Like I said, a very hard strike zone to get used to if you're not used to it. Talking about a player in Cadence that's maybe 4'10", 4'9", 5'2". Okay, 5'3", 5'4". I'll give her that. As that ball is a strike. Generous. I'm going to call that a generous strike because that ball is a little bit high. But full count, 3-2. As this ball is going to fall just short, but Cadence swings at it and finds that hole where the shortstop should be. And she'll take a base hit and make her way to first base. Are you doing it? Okay. And so we'll continue talking about the intramural season as the game goes along. Started with, like I said, the kickoff in August for a week of welcome. Then progressed to Color Rush Dodgeball, as that ball is going to be short, 3 balls, 1 strike. And then we got into our first sport, which was flag football this year. Flag football, one of our more popular sports, as that ball falls short of the center fielder. And now Kappa Delta, who started this inning with an out, has 2 straight hits and a runner in scoring position, looking to add to their 3-0 lead. Flag football is very interesting. Teams were up, registration was up, even women's teams. We had more women's teams than we've had before and created some good competition. We had, as that ball gets hit short, India takes it as the pitcher and makes a good throw to get the out at first, a good fundamental play. 2 outs now as runners are on third and second. Football season ended with 251. 251 Babies No Hope taking 2 titles in men's and co-rec. We play our championship games in the Jaguar Training Center, so it was a great atmosphere playing on the turf on that gigantic field. And then the women's championship came down to as that ball is slapped into right field and caught. Good play by the second baseman, Jade Perkins. And she was actually on the women's team that lost to the PT team. And that's how flag football ended. Good season. We'll talk about some of the other sports as the game progresses. Right now, pitch slap coming up at the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second, as that pitch is a ball. Pitch slap did a good job of not giving into the mid-inning rally by KD and keeping the score at 3-0. But gonna have to score here as that ball comes in as a strike. Batter agrees, nods her head. 2-2 count. As a swing and a miss, and that's going to be the first out of the second inning. It's going to be interesting to see how Kappa Delta holds up. You see a couple players kind of fanning themselves and kind of trying to stay cool. A very hot day, like I said, for this time of year. Feels like it's an orientation day in the summer in June and July. And at our fields, as that ball gets hit to the pitcher, that's going to be easy play at first. Uh, it feels like it's like 90s, high 90s, but it's only 85. And where the fields are located, our softball field, there is not a tree in sight. There's actually one tree, the tree of life, which is, you can see it in the outfield there in the deep, deep part of the complex. But that tree is not giving us any shade over here. We're just thankful that our staff over here has a tent, or else, you know, it'd be a very angry broadcast as that ball kind of hits the bottom of the camera. But a quick inning, 1, 2, 3, a couple of strikeouts, and KD back up to bat in the top of the third. Top of the third inning, the ball gets hit and a nasty collision between the shortstop and between the second baseman and the third baseman who was cheating over. She's up and looks like she's okay, but that's a big time hit. Get the pads. That was uh, Jade. Jade came in and thought she could get the ball and didn't put any brakes on. All gas, no brakes, and it all ends up as a runner on first base for Kappa Delta, and maybe a couple of loose teeth or body chills. But as that ball is outside for ball 2. Speaking of that collision, those were some of the kind of remind me of soccer season and all the tough plays we have. As that ball goes underneath the glove, and KD now gets their first 2 runners aboard and is looking to get something going and add to that 3-0 lead. So that collision is a nice transition to talk about soccer season. Soccer season was a season that kind of just went by pretty fast. A lot of weather issues, but some great competition. The men's championship won the highlight. Actually ended FC Tike won with in a penalty kick showdown. So it was a great championship game, one of the better championship games we had, as that ball gets thrown from the second baseman, tries to get the out at first, but a good job to get the out. Now runners on the corners for KD as the lead runner advances to third base. So a good chance for an RBI here. Last time this KD player was up, she struck out, unfortunately, as that ball is a bit high for her. As that ball is fouled off. As that ball stayed in the strike zone. That bat stayed in the strike zone for a very long time on a slow swing. As this pitch is going to come in and works her way to a full count. Be a big time walk if she can get on base. As India delivers the pitch, looked like a good pitch, and it was a good pitch. Strike 3, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So another chance for Pitch Slap to escape another inning with a runner on third base. As that ball comes in, batter, you know what? That is good acceptance. I like it. You know, the batter wasn't looking, and a lot of people would have got mad at the umpire for kind of letting the ball count get thrown. But the batter said, that's on me. Good ownership. You don't see that a lot of days. Yeah. Oh, she's the captain. That's why. Yeah. Leadership starts at the top. Attitude perfects leadership. Remember the Titans. Good movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Priya keeps disappointing me by saying she just recently saw it, but she's seen it, and that's the most important thing. Because that movie has a bunch of lines in it. That's a walk after giving her the first. As a miscommunication with the umpire. It's okay. You're just on TV. Full count is what it is. Isabella steps in, waiting for her 3-2 pitch. The ball is short, and now she can make her way to first base, pushing the runner to second. Base is loaded for the ladies at Kappa Delta. So Priya, are there any other movies that you haven't seen that's just disappointing?
There probably is.
You've seen The Sandlot, right?
Yes, I've seen.
That's a fair question after you remember the Titans thing, okay? If you have not seen The Sandlot, ladies and gentlemen, there is no second Sandlot in my mind. There is not in my mind. No, that don't count. Stop making sequels. It is, but it's like on direct to DVD or Blu-ray, whatever y'all have nowadays. As that's a swing and a miss, and they're out of this inning. Pitch Slap gets it done, able to keep the score at 3-0. top of the. Are we in the third inning or the fourth inning?
We're in the bottom of the third.
Third inning. Okay. Sorry for our graphic says fourth inning. Third inning, swing and a miss. As the Katy pitcher's been pretty solid the whole afternoon, including this game. As I say that, she throws a ball over the batter's head. 2-2 count. They're just trying to spook her or something. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hit right to the shortstop. We talked about it in the sorority championship of how the shortstop, second base, and the first baseman for Kappa Delta are very solid infielders. Probably the best three you're going to find, not only in the women's league, but maybe in all of our softball leagues. Just very hard if it's hit on the dirt to get it past them. Solid fielders as that ball is launched to the clouds. It's a 3-1 count. As that one comes in inside, so a 3-pitch walk and a base runner for pitch slap as they look to get something going, trying to get their first run of the afternoon. As Maddie, one of our employees, steps into the batter's box, struck out her last at bat, looking for a little revenge against the pitcher. As that ball comes in around her eyes and is too high. I think I may have given the KD pitcher the announcer's curse for saying she was doing well. As that ball is hit back to the pitcher, gonna get the out at second. No chance to get the runner at first. As India steps back in. A lot of their hits have not gone to the grass. They're gonna have to get something in the air and try to find some gaps. Cap Delta did a good job in the first inning of finding, as that ball comes in high, of finding those gaps, those holes, and really exposing the pitch slap defense that only has 8 fielders. Kappa Delta has all 10 fielders on the field. As a swing and off of the wrist of the shortstop, it goes into the center field, and a good break. That was a tough play to try to get by the shortstop. That ball came in pretty high and low, and it's hard to get her glove in place. And it results in runners on first and second now, and Jay get a chance to get in a couple of RBIs to tighten up the game. The ball comes in high, good eyes. As that ball comes in and is slapped down the left field side, foul ball. 2-2 count. As Maddie got off to a pretty fast start on her way. Shout out to Isabel bringing water. As that ball gets slapped up the middle. Let's see if Maddie is aggressive and tries to score. India pushing her to score. They bobble the ball a little bit, but it works out. And they have their first run of the game. Nice swing by Jay to get that ball right up the gap, up the middle. Exactly what they needed. 3-1. Swing back to the pitcher and out at first, and that'll end the inning. But a good job by Pitch Slap to get something out of that rally. They get on the board. It's 3-1 heading to the top of the fourth. Top of the lineup for KD, top of the fourth. The ball comes in over the head. That's ball two. We'll talk about volleyball in the top half of this inning to continue our quest down the school year's memory lane. That ball's outside, 3-1 count. Volleyball was dominated by the alumni in our program. We're one of the few intramural programs that allows alumni to play, and they took both the men and the co-rec championships. But we also had a record number of co-rec volleyball teams this year, and so as surprising as it is, I believe volleyball was our largest sport in terms of team numbers, as that pitch comes in and is hit on the infield, popped up and caught by the third baseman, 1 out. Marley Connor's team won the women's volleyball championship, indoor championship. They beat, I believe, Kappa Delta KD. KD always known to have a pretty solid volleyball team, indoor and beach. As that ball gets slammed, will drop in front of the center fielder. Chance at second to get her, and just a little late. And now runners on first and second, and a good job to read that ball off the bat by Cadence, getting her in scoring position. And the heart of the Kappa Delta lineup stepping into the box now, trying to get that run back that they gave up in the bottom of the third. Ball comes in, and it falls pretty well. Goes the pitch and foul back. Mashana does a good job of protecting the camera. Want to make sure we can get through all these games. Unlike Aaron, who's right behind me, did the other day last week. Let the camera get hit. But he was fine. He was perfect. Fine. You know. As that ball gets hit to the center fielder, out number 2. Then again, you can't have a camera, I guess, without a cameraman, one would argue. So, self-preservation, ladies and gentlemen. 2 outs. Another KD runner in scoring position, and another chance for pitch slap to get out of it. They've had multiple innings. I think all 4 innings they've had runners in scoring position. And only 1 inning have they been able to push them across, and that was the first inning. So outside of that first kind of chaos, pitch slap's done a good job. Looks like they're going to get out of this one, and they do with that throw to second base. So pitch slap hanging tough. Headed to the bottom of the 4th, and the game's halfway over. KD 3, pitch slap 1. Ball, first pitch, ball outside, as we've reached the halfway point of the women's championship for softball. Tomorrow night it's beach volleyball championships, as a ground ball to second base, but a mistake, a rare mistake by the second baseman. Cadence throws the ball, pulls the first baseman off the bag. So an error given up by KD. We were bragging about those shortstop, second base, and first base combinations, and they make a mistake. And now let's see if pitch slap can make them pay for it, as that ball's inside.
Is that 9?
It was a routine play there. Not sure if she rushed the throw or what happened, but pitch slap has the leadoff runner on. Ball a little high, and she swings and evens up the count at 2-2. As the teammates encourage her to watch the ball, and that is a call strike 3, and that is the first out of the inning. So swung at the ball a little too high. Swung at a ball that was a little too high the first one, and then that was a beautiful pitch to get the second strike. That ball's outside, and a good take. At the bottom of the lineup for pitch slap, see if they can be productive and push this lead away a little bit, make the game a little closer. As that ball comes in as a strike, 3-2 pitch coming up. And that ball just misses on the inside of the plate. And now runners in scoring position as the top of the lineup is on deck for pitch slap. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Took a big cut at that one. Tried to launch it into the grass. Just a little behind on it. As that pitch comes in just high, that ball just missed. Was closer than the batter thought it was going to be. A little breeze is hopefully trying to break through, as that is strike 3. So 2 call strikes, backwards Ks. As Maddie, the top of the lineup, steps into the box. Runners on first and second. If they can get, she can get the ball in play, give her team a chance. As the ball is inside. Coming up, men's championship, ASCE versus Sigma Chi. That ball's outside, so a good hitters count now at 3-1. As that ball is going to fall for a strike to even, not even a count, but a full count. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning. As that ball chases the batter out of the box, and another walk will bring up India Lee. So walks have given pitch slap a chance to make some noise here in the bottom of the 4th. Inning started with an error by the second baseman. We're able to get 2 outs after that, but then a couple of walks, and now a chance, bases loaded, to probably tie the game or even take the lead. Swings at the first pitch up the middle, and that's going to score at least 1 run. Chevy comes around the third. She's going to score. We have a tie game. A great piece of clutch inning hitting by India. And pitch slap, waiting for their opportunity, finds it at the bottom of the 4th and can get more damage done and take their first lead of the game. Katie's pitcher came in to this inning pitching a pretty consistent game, but has hit struggles here in the bottom of the 4th with some walks, and the defense faltered a little bit too, and all of it leads to a 2-run single by India Lee. As as that ball is popped up and over the head of the center fielder. Here comes Maddie in the score. India's going to make the big turn around third. She's going to score, and it's 5-3 based on two straight two-run singles. That's a double as Jade actually is in the second base. So a two-run single, a two-run double, and Pitch Slap has their first lead of the afternoon at 5-3. Four runs so far in the bottom of the fourth. It's been their inning. That ball comes in high. That ball comes in short. Three straight balls, and the pitching struggles continue. Kappa Delta had
Turn it a little bit more that way so we can see Eli make the calls.
Kappa Delta had great, not luck, but great
Just turn it.
ability to get out of
Yeah, like right there.
some tough situations with runners in scoring position. This inning, not so much. Pitch Slap finally was able to do it as that ball is launched into center field, gets past the center fielder. There, Jade's going to come around to score, and that ball's going to go all the way back close to the fence, and another two-run hit as they're going to make a big turn at third base, and that runner is safe, so a bases clearing three-run inside the Parker, and now it is 8-3. Able to get the ball to the outfield and find success. A 7-run fourth inning. The big inning comes for Pitch Slap, as that is strike three, but a big time turnaround as Pitch Slap gets 7 in the fourth, and they now lead by 5. How does Kappa Delta respond after giving up the big inning in the bottom of the fourth? Top of the fifth. They have the hitting power to get it back, but time now becomes an issue. 9 outs remaining. As that ball falls, it's going to be foul, but very close to being fair. Just kind of ran right at the end. And now it is, as that ball gets hit to the second baseman, Jay stays down on it and gets the first out of the inning. Amazing how pressure can change in a game, especially in a short amount of time. One inning ago, you felt like Pitch Slap was running out of time, and now the clock striking midnight is getting closer and closer for Kappa Delta in their 3-4 year winning streak. But still time as that ball comes in inside. As that ball is outside, called the ball, and that's going to be ball 4. So Kappa Delta has a base runner on. They're going to need multiple base runners and some big time hits to not only just get back in the game, but to possibly take the lead. As this ball comes in, ball inside. See, here's the 2-1 pitch. That ball is a beautiful strike down the heart of the plate. 2-2 count. As that ball hits the batter, trying to send a message. Not sure what kind of message she's trying to send. Up by 5, but you know, you gotta back up the pitcher or the batter sometimes. Full count. That ball comes in around the neck, chin area, and it's going to be a walk. And now Kappa Delta can get something going with runner in scoring position and a runner in first base. 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Swung on and missed. And now India is ahead of the hitter, 1-2. Somebody's playing great music. Fleetwood Mac, I hear in the background. Can't beat that. Solid choice. Priya, what would your walk-up song be if you had one? As that ball comes in, nearly touches the rainbows in the cloud. She's thinking. She's thinking. Y'all, she's Googling it. You are looking at her music. As this ball is going to come in a swing, goes back to the pitcher. Jay turns it, misses, and a break for Kappa Delta as a runner will score, and that'll make the game 8-4. So we saw in the last half inning an error by Kappa Delta lead to a big inning. Let's see what happens with that error, as that throw was a little wide for the second baseman to grab as she was running to second base. But a break for Kappa Delta. As Alexis Garcia steps into the batter's box, takes ball 2. Great chance to extend this inning. As that ball comes in and hits it, let's see if it'll get past. Third baseman makes a good play and takes the out at third. 2 out. That is a lot of dirt to be covering on that side of the diamond by herself, but she's done a solid job outside of that first inning. Still waiting on that walk-up song for Priya. Not sure she can find one. So many songs in the world. Maybe we'll get it at the bottom half of this inning. As Caden steps in, a good chance for her to make some noise and help her team out. Takes a ball high.
23. Michael made it.
23, Mike Will made it is what she said. So we've had a Mike Will made it reference, a Fleetwood Mac reference. We're all over the place. And Juicy J. Can't forget Juicy J. Cadence is 3-1 now ahead of the pitcher, and that ball's going to be inside, and now the bases are loaded. So it's a 4-8 game. Bases are loaded, and KD's top of their lineup, the leadoff top of the lineup, just got on, and the second hitter can really close the gap on an 8-4 game. As here comes the pitch. Swung on and lifted to the outfield and falls down. And that'll be a run in as they go station to station on bases loaded and keep the inning alive. 8-5 now. Didn't want to get too aggressive and get that last out. Wanted to just keep the line moving. And now the line moves to the next hitter, and the bases remain loaded. Swing and sent to the second baseman, who makes the play and gets the out at safe. Says safe. Didn't get the out at second, and said that the second baseman beat her to the bag, or said the runner beat the second baseman to the bag. They're gonna look at this. They're gonna talk about it. This is a big decision here, as Davion and Archie get together. Archie leaning to Davion's level there. Very interesting huddle. I hope you can see that at home.
Oh, wait, never mind.
And we're gonna have an out. They're gonna call an out, and that's gonna be the end of the inning. I tell you, in live, it looked like the fielder beat the runner to the bag, but an interesting decision. I'm not sure what the confusion was. We're gonna get an explanation for you, and we'll be right back. Swing on and a strike for the top of, or the bottom of the fifth inning, as that was a really close play at second base, as the umpire and crew got together and determined that she was out. Those are tough. Those are tough bang bang plays. Just got to make sure you have your eyes in the right place to see it, as that swung on and popped up, and that'll be an out. Hey.
Please.
As that ball comes in as a strike. And that ball comes in as a strike. Two strikes, same pitch, almost identical. That looked like two good legit pitches to me. So rare you see somebody up there only for two pitches, looking pitches. But this is quickly now turning into two outs at the bottom of the fifth. Maddie steps in. And that pitch is a strike. So the pitcher for KD is settled down after that rough last inning and is throwing strikes. And here comes a pitch that's a bit too high. The ability to throw strikes is so underrated in slow pitch softball. That one comes in flat and low, and a full count. Everything starts with a good pitcher, as this ball is going to be too high, and a correct call. Very consistent, as Maddie gets on with a two-out walk, and India will step up to the plate, looking to add to her big day already. Has a couple of RBIs, a clutch two-out RBI in the last inning. Really got the train moving and allowed Pitch Slap to take a lot of momentum and the lead. Fouls the ball back out of play off the gate, almost hits the bleacher, bounces and dribbles to the side of the trash can. India using the red Worth bat. It's been good to her all day. Swings, almost takes out the catcher and Eli, but the big man's got moves. The former defensive lineman's got good feet back there. India has one more foul ball left, so she's got to put this one in play as she swings. And a swing and a miss on a pitch that was kind of inside, and 3 outs. Only a walk given up by KD, and they're back in the batter's box when we come back. Two innings left to determine a women's champion as Kappa Delta trails pitch slap 8-5 right now. We're going to finish up our conversation about the rest of the sports in the spring semester, hopefully before the game ends. We'll talk about basketball as this inning goes on. Basketball season was exciting as that ball gets fouled out of play. Korek had a lot of great contenders in it. It was a wide open race. Came down to the P2 team versus the 251 babies. And Korek, Jalen Thompson was also missing in that game for 251 as the ball gets lifted high into the infield and out. PT was able to pull that game out. Well, you got to wonder how that game would have went if 251 had all their players, including Andrew, who missed that game, who was the leading scorer for 251. You got to think that that game would have been more competitive, maybe even favoring 251. But intramurals is about availability as opposed to that's the most quality ability you got. As that ball should have been caught by the first baseman, and then it's dropped instead. And KD gets a gift. And what should have been 2 outs now results in 1 out and a runner on first. Women's basketball ended again with the PT women winning over India's women's team. One of the more tragic losses that she suffered this year. Game went to overtime, I believe. And PT able to pull that one out in a thriller last game of our basketball season. And in the men's league, as Katie's got a great chance to advance the runner, at least to scoring position. As that ball is swung on and hit to the third baseman, handled easily. They'll take the out at second. Think they got a chance at first, and does. And the runner just didn't run through the bag and gets caught up in a great delivery. A third baseman, the second baseman, the first baseman playing. And Kappa Delta down to 3 outs. But first, pitch slap coming to bat at the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Jade is a ball. Just wrap up the men's basketball conversation. The men's championship was a overtime game between Court Kings and Team Degati. And and game went to overtime. Court Kings actually had a 14-point lead in that game and actually blew that lead and lost to Gotti in overtime to alumni team as that ball skips off of the shortstop, and that is an error. And so just a game full of errors. And you got to wondering how playing back-to-back games is affecting KD. It is a very hot day, and it's not only hard to stay focused physically, but mentally as well. That ball just finds the grass, and their center fielder is having to chase it, and Jade's going to score easily. And now the ball's going to get thrown in, and she's going to make a turn too. And another inside the park home run as that ball can't be collected by the catcher. And this lead goes back up to 5 now, 10-5 for pitch slap. Just the inability to field the ball and get it into the pitcher's hand as that ball is hit right to the second baseman. First out of the inning. The ability to limit damage is really what's hurting KD in this game. They really haven't given up 10 runs all year long, but in the women's championship, they've really picked a bad time to start. That pitch comes in outside. And that one's inside. So outside, inside, 3-1 count. As this pitch is going to be swung on, and nice play by the third baseman, collected and thrown on the first for the second out of the inning. Nice job of keeping her glove down and seeing that ball all the way in, and then straightening herself with good footwork and making a solid throw to first. So pitch slap adds 2 runs here in the bottom of the 6th as that one comes in as a strike. And so Kappa Delta is at least going to have to get 5 in the top of the 7th. As that one slips out of the hand, and their 3-year championship streak is in big jeopardy now. But what a great run, though. Just as the ball's fouled off, to win that many T-shirts in that many consecutive years, to always kind of know you're going to win a shirt, just doesn't happen to a lot of people like that. So credit to, as that's going to be a walk. So credit to a lot of these women from KD, as I thought that was 3 balls. A Chevy's going to have to come on back, as Elijah's having trouble communicating. Maybe the sweatshirt that's still dripping over his shoulder, as now she can take her base. Again, I'm not sure why. You know, he's from Bruton, Alabama, so I know it gets hot up there. So I can't. The sweatshirt is confusion. I don't understand the thought process. I was told his generation doesn't check weather reports, although I thought it automatically came on your phone. So if you can figure it out, let me know. As that ball is fouled back to the gate. As this one's going to come in just a little flat and short. Only halfway through our softball championships today, as we still have the men's league and the co-rec championship as another pitch slap. Maybe we need scoreboards, bigger scoreboards or something. So if you have any donations, please send them to South Sports, and we can get some big scoreboards. As that swing and a miss retires the side. KD down 5. One more chance at the top of the 7th. Pitch lap 3 outs away from winning the intramural women's championship. Kappa Delta trying to have a big inning and save their championship winning streak. As that first pitch came in there as a ball, and now the ball just trickles to the second baseman and back to the pitcher. We should have a pitch clock just to speed things along. As the ball's going to be short and hits the umpire and then the leg. 3-1 count. Remember, the only sorority to win a t-shirt this year was Chi Omega in soccer. Kappa Delta trying to change that as that pitch falls outside, and that is 3 straight balls. And now in a weird move, he's putting the sweatshirt back on. It's just astounding behavior. I know the game's the headline, but man, that's got to make something, as that ball's going to fall into the glove of the third baseman. 1 out. Like, I'm pretty sure he's doubling down now. He's just prideful. We're not going to the ER as he flashes me the logo. 1 out. A runner on first for Kappa Delta. As that ball comes in as a ball. This ball is short and outside. The key for pitch slap is to make Kappa Delta swing the bat. Don't want to walk those runs in. It's going to be a tough play for the third baseman. Scoops it up, throws it on the first, and the ball gets away a bit, sending the runner to third base. Runner elects to hold at first. She's going to be aggressive and come on home, and now it's 10-6. As the first base runner, really conservative on that. The ball got away and kind of trickled in the right field. Maybe could have made it to second base, but it allowed the runner at first that started out to go all the way around the home. So you got to think they would have made it to second base. Still, though, didn't want to take a chance, get that second out. 10-6. As that ball comes in as a strike, batter nods and agrees. Top of the lineup coming up for KD if they can reach it. The ball's short. It's a big pitch. 3-2 count. Pitch comes in outside. That walks the bottom of the lineup to first base. On comes Cadence, the one hitter. Cadence just a freshman here, experiencing her first softball season with Kappa Delta, looking to keep the streak alive that many before her have started. Got a great chance to move the line and keep their hopes alive. She steps in. Pitch is short. Again, you don't want to walk these KD hitters onto the bags and extend their life. Want to make the bat make noise. KD will take the walks, though. More base runners, more chances to eat into that 4-run lead. That ball's short. 3-1 count. See if she'll take. That ball is called a strike, excuse me. As that ball's put into play, backing up and finds a hole. See if the second base can get there. There's nobody on second base. Again, the limited number of fielders made it so nobody was available. And now the tying run comes to the plate with bases loaded. This is the top of an inning, so pitch slap will still have a chance to bat no matter what happens. But this could be fireworks here at the top of the seventh.
You've been on there? Okay. You need to check their roster. They got some ringers out here. I can see it. You know how they are. Those frats.
First pitch comes in, popped up, should be an infield fly, and that is 2 outs. That was a big spot. It's KD down to her last out. That ball inside. Ball popped up and is going to fall short. KD stays alive as that gets a runner in. 10-7 now. So tying run moves to first base. Abby, one of the best hitters for Kappa Delta, stepping to the plate. He's had a game with some pop-ups and ground outs, but a great chance to at least tie the game or maybe do some more damage as that ball is going to come in short. It's been a game where both teams have had situations where the bases have been loaded, and that ball's going to get to the outfield. And it gets to the center fielder, a run will score, and it's 10-8. Tying run moves to second now. Headed for a dramatic finish in the women's championship. Both teams have had chances with bases loaded or runners in scoring position. It's really been a game of who's been able to cash in. And right now, with 2 runs, or 3 runs, excuse me, Kappa Delta has been able to extend their life in this game. Swing to the second baseman, handles it, and the game is over. Pitch slap wins. Pitch slap wins the women's championship, and KD's winning streak is ended. What a great women's championship. Join us for the men's championship coming up in the next couple of minutes.